What's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to Talking Mets. Hey, Rob. How is everybody doing? Before I get started talking about the big news that just came out last night with regards to the New York Mets and a couple of big-time free agents, don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. You enjoy my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos, and when I go live, you guys know what to do. Hit on that subscribe button, everybody. All right, guys. So Mets fans have been panicking, worrying, all the stories, all the reports coming out. The Yankees are favorites to get Yamamoto. The Yankees are favored to get Juan Soto. The Dodgers are getting Ohtani. Mets aren't in on big names anymore. They're not the favorites to land these big fish players anymore. And then the Mets signed Luis Severino to a 1-year, $13 million deal, and everybody laughed, specifically Yankee fans. Then they signed Joey Wendell a couple hours later. Utility guy for the bench. Got laughed at. Low budget, Wilpon-esque type moves. Once again, oh no, they're not making no moves. And then a miraculous story has come up that the Mets are full bore in on multiple free agent pitchers that most Met fans want, most Met fans are excited about, and it's exactly what we wanted to hear as Mets fans. Again, too many people go back to the nonsense press conference that Steve Cohen talked about, that talked in that press conference and saying that, oh, we're going to contend in 2024. You know, we're not going to have star level players that we're going to go after, we're going to have on this team and everything like that. And people believed it. You know why? Because too many people are too naive. They believe every word out of everybody's mouth. They believe everything they read on the internet is true. That's the problem here. And there is no doubt with star level talent in this free agent market and big names available via trade or free agency, you think the richest owner in baseball is going to sit back, put up his legs, and not do what he needs to do to win? Steve Cohen has been known in his hedge fund to not like to lose, does not like to sit around, always balls to the wall, always going for it, always making sure that he does what he has to do to put the best foot forward every single time. He's proven that over the first 3 years of owning the New York Mets. Do I have to go over it? Lindor, Scherzer, Verlander, Canna, Marte, Escobar. And it continues to, everybody seems like he didn't do that. Just because it wasn't all successful doesn't mean that he didn't go full bore with anybody, with any player he wanted. You know, overnight he went to go get Correa. It didn't work out medical wise, but he went to go get him. If you believe as a Mets fan that Steve Cohen, you believed what he said at the press conference, and everybody believed what Max Scherzer said because he wanted Max Scherzer to get the hell out of town, then I'm going to sell you a bridge, because this is exactly the point I'm trying to make. The New York Mets are going to do what they need to do to put a winning product on the field. Now, not everybody's going to agree with every signing, every trade the Mets make, but that doesn't mean they're not going to be successful, right? Everybody was in love with the Max Scherzer sign. There was nobody that was saying, oh my God, it's a terrible move, because the Dodgers were also the second team that were all in on Max Scherzer as well, right? The Astros wanted Verlander back, but they weren't paying him that kind of money, right? Francisco Lindor trade came out of nowhere. Nobody knew about it, and he gave him a huge contract, right? There's no indication except for a few words that everybody seems to believe that he's not going to go do what he needs to do to put a winning product on the field. The problem is, even if he wanted to do that, it's very hard to do that when you have 12 roster spots open. At one point, 13 roster spots open to start the offseason, during this offseason, before he signed 2 players yesterday. And all of a sudden, you're like, how is he going to fill a roster? You can't trade people and add enough guys on the roster. So how do you add those players to the roster to fill roster spots? By free agency. So even just by doing that, even if there's one star level face that comes to the Mets and the rest are middle road guys, you're still going to have a payroll close to $300 million. So Listen to him all you want, but proof is in the pudding. And this is where we come to the big news that came last night after everybody panicked after the Severino and Wendell signings. Joel Sherman, well respected in the baseball world as a reporter, a guy that, yes, back then worked for the Mets as a beat reporter, but is a guy that's well respected and people believe him more than most reporters. And he stated in an article last night that in a wide range article, and I'm going to show you this right now, in a wide range article about David Stern's acclamation to the Mets job and the financial resources he now has at his disposal, Joe Sherman of the New York Post spoke with rival executives regarding the Mets offseason plans. And one executive said his perception is that the Mets are going full bore in trying to sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Shota, Imanga, and others. They're not messing around, the exec told the Post. I don't think they have the stomach for a year or two to get this ship turned around. This is specifically talking about Cohen. Cohen is not a guy, he's a hedge fund guy. He's a stock market guy. This guy is constantly making moves. Selling, buying, doesn't wait. He doesn't wait for the market to come, to develop. He does it. He makes the market move. That's what he does with his hedge fund. He's doing this in the baseball sense here. He knows he can spend any type of money he wants. And it's the right people that you spend on, but this is what's going on here with Steve Cohen. Sherman noted that many executives spoken to think the Mets have an advantage with Yamamoto since Steve Cohen has the ability to let Yamamoto's camp know he'll simply top any offer. That's all the executives. A lot of executives spoke about that no matter what offer comes to Yamamoto, the Mets are going to top it. The Mets' strong interest in Yamamoto has reported by SOI Andy Martino and everybody else. So that was last night. That was last night after everybody believed before last night that the Yankees were the favorites for everybody. They're in on everybody. They're the favorites. Soto, Bellinger, Yamamoto. They possibly could be. But to think that Steve Cohen's just going to sit on his hands and say, we're building our farm system, even though spending money on free agents has nothing to do with their farm system at all. You're not using them to acquire players. You're spending money. And Steve Cohen is going to do that again. Now, what I believe he meant at that press conference was specifically this. He's not going to have star-studded names that are 38 or 40 years old. That's what I thought he was referring to without exactly, pissing off. Remember, that press conference wasn't because of Scherzer and Verlander specifically. It was about the team falling apart in June, but it was specific when he didn't want to disrespect Scherzer or Verlander, two Hall of Fame pitchers. He didn't want to directly name them or bring up a specific part of the roster that he was talking about. That's what I think he was talking about. Because there's no reason why you wouldn't sign a 25-year-old pitcher who is a phenom in Japan and all indication he could be a top 5 pitcher in Major League Baseball. Shota Imanga had an under 3 ERA in Japan and is considered a very good, like a Kodai Senga, probably even better than Kodai Senga, but the numbers are similar with Kodai Senga, and he's a lefty. And others. And others can mean a lot of things. Could mean another bat. They could be in on Juan Soto. And again, haven't you noticed something about the New York Mets, ladies and gentlemen? They have kept a tight lip. Did anybody report that the Mets were in serious talks with Severino until like a half hour until it happened? And then Joey Wendell popped up. Again, these are not big names, but the Mets are keeping everything tight-lipped. And if they're keeping it tight-lipped with, back-end rotation guys and utility guys, what do you think they're doing with star free agents or possible trades? That means something. So before you hear all these rumors, which Yankees PR loves to bring out those rumors and the information that the Yankees are favorites for everybody because their PR is excellent. The Mets are doing it completely different. Cohen says he wants to be like the Dodgers. The Dodgers keep things tight-lipped. Until it happens, you don't know about it. And that's where the Mets are doing. And they showed it yesterday yet again. Lindor, nobody knew until it happened. Even Scherzer, not until basically that day was there any rumor that the Mets were really serious about Scherzer in conversation with contract talks. Remember, guys, tight lip doesn't mean that it's not happened, because a reporter who clearly, these reporters haven't reported anything with any sense of what is actually happening in the Mets front office. They have completely put the wool over their eyes, and they're upset about it. And Joel Sherman, who's a really good reporter, spoke to people outside the organization because he can't get information from inside the Mets organization. So he's going to go outside with rival executives who are bidding or trying to get that same player, and they're giving you this, not the Mets organization, other executives from other teams. When other executives say that, that means they know what is going on internally in Major League Baseball and what is going on, because clearly the bidding wars are happening. Negotiations are happening. Conversations, presentations are happening. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, full bore. This is something that people did not believe after what Steve Cohen's comments were. And everybody was concerned. I was never concerned, because I thought it was a bill of goods to let people know that calm down, relax. I'm going to do what I need to do to put a winning ball club on the team, on the field. That's it. And people took it and ran with it along with Scherzer. And a lot of people are going to be looking like fools, because Joel Sherman wouldn't put this out there if it was little information from the organization, because the Mets don't leak stuff. So he had to go to outside executives. Let me know in the comments, guys. Full bore. Do you believe it or do you not believe it? I'm going to believe it, because all along, Steve Cohen has proven when he wants players, he goes after them hard. And there is no indication that he's not going to. Let me know in the comments, guys. Do you believe that full bore mentality or you don't? Once again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos, and want to go live, you guys know what to do. Hit on that subscribe button, everybody. Let me know in the comments, guys. Do you think the Mets are going full bore after Yamamoto, Imanga, and others, according to Joel Sherman, and rival executives that are probably bidding for the same players or trying to get players from other teams, and the Mets are one of their competition? Do you believe it? Yes or no? I want to thank you guys for watching, and as always, Met fans, let's go Mets.